Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, what if the universe itself is thinking? What if every galaxy, every filament of light, every atom is part of something far greater, a mind beyond comprehension? This is not merely poetic imagination. Across disciplines, from neuroscience to cosmology, scientists are finding eerie parallels between the cosmic web of galaxies and the neural network of the human brain. Two structures separated by unimaginable scales, yet shaped by the same invisible logic. Filaments connect, voids divide, information flows. In 2020, astrophysicist Franco Vazza and neurosurgeon Alberto Feletti compared the large-scale structure of the universe to the neural architecture of the brain. Their findings? Despite a difference of 27 orders of magnitude, both systems display nearly identical patterns of complexity and information distribution. It's as if nature, in its vastness, cannot help but repeat itself. But the idea that the cosmos might behave like a brain is older than modern science. The 17th century philosopher Baruch Spinoza saw God and the universe as one infinite, self-thinking substance. Centuries later, Carl Sagan would remind us that we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. And today, physicists like Max Tegmark speak of a mathematical universe, a cosmos that processes information as if it were computation itself. So what if these parallels are not coincidence, but a hint, a whisper from reality itself, that consciousness is not confined to neurons, but woven into the very fabric of existence? In this exploration, we dive into that haunting question: is the universe a brain? Or more profoundly, are we thoughts, firing within its infinite mind? When you peer deep into the universe, past the stars, past the swirling galaxies, past the cosmic horizon, you see something astonishing. A colossal network. Threads of matter stretching across billions of light years, interconnected filaments forming clusters, and in between, vast voids of silence. Astronomers call this the cosmic web, the grand structure of the universe itself. And strangely, it looks almost biological. Now shift from the telescope to the microscope. Look into the living brain. There, 86 billion neurons branch and connect, linked by synapses that carry electrical whispers of thought. Each neuron reaches out, like a galaxy reaching for another. Two different realms, two unimaginable scales, yet both governed by networks of nodes and filaments. In 2020, astrophysicist Franco Vazza and neurosurgeon Alberto Feletti decided to quantify this uncanny resemblance. They measured how information, or energy, flows across both systems. What they found defied intuition. The brain and the cosmos both store roughly the same amount of information density per structural unit. The mathematical fingerprints, distribution curves, clustering coefficients, connection hierarchies, were almost indistinguishable. In both systems, only about 30% of the total mass or matter forms the active network. The rest, the vast empty space, isn't empty at all. It provides the structure that allows everything else to exist. Even the voids matter. It's as though the universe and the brain share the same design philosophy: to build complexity efficiently, to link everything through a balance of connection and emptiness. As Carl Jung once said, in all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order. Perhaps that secret order runs deeper than we think, from neurons firing in our skulls to galaxies swirling in the heavens. When you overlay the two images, a brain scan and a cosmic map, something inside you stirs. You begin to wonder, are we observing the universe? Or is it observing itself through us? Why does the universe, a vast cosmic ocean of galaxies, mirror the structure of the human brain, a soft labyrinth of neurons? Is it coincidence? Or is there a deeper mathematical rhythm guiding both? Physicists and biologists call it self-organization. the tendency of complex systems to shape themselves without any external designer. From snowflakes to ant colonies, from weather systems to neural networks, nature builds order from chaos. And it does so by following the same silent principles. These principles often take the form of fractal geometry, patterns that repeat at different scales. Zoom in or zoom out, and the shape of the whole echoes the shape of its parts. The universe, too, may be a vast fractal. Galaxies form clusters, clusters form filaments, and those filaments connect like neural pathways in a brain that spans billions of light years. Mathematically, both the cosmic web and the neural network optimize for the same goal: efficiency. They minimize distance, maximize connectivity, and balance energy with stability. Just like neurons seek the most efficient route to transmit an electrical signal, galaxies align themselves along gravitational highways that carry energy and matter through the cosmic fabric. The same blueprint, emerging from entirely different ingredients. In the brain, the architect is biology, electrical impulses and chemical messengers. In the universe, the architect is gravity, the silent sculptor of matter and energy. Yet both follow the same universal law: connection creates intelligence. Some scientists, like Jeffrey West of the Santa Fe Institute, suggest that these scaling laws, how systems grow and organize, may be nature's hidden code. From a single neuron to an entire galaxy, the same mathematics whispers beneath the surface. Perhaps this is why the universe and the brain look alike. Not because one imitates the other, but because both are expressions of a deeper principle. The cosmos thinks in patterns, and if every pattern in nature seeks to process energy, to exchange information, then maybe what we call consciousness is simply the universe realizing itself, from the inside out. So what if these similarities aren't coincidence? What if they're clues, whispers of a deeper reality? A reality in which the universe doesn't just look like a brain, it functions like one. This is the Neurobiological Universe Hypothesis, a daring idea suggesting that the cosmos itself may behave like a vast, self-organizing, information processing system. Think of it this way: your brain receives signals, processes them, learns, and becomes aware of itself. Now imagine a universe doing the same, on a cosmic scale, through gravitational interactions, through quantum fields, through the constant flow of energy and entropy. If so, then perhaps the expansion of the universe is not random chaos, but the unfolding of a thought, a cosmic act of learning. Physicist John Wheeler once proposed it from bit, that reality itself is built from information, not matter. If that's true, then every galaxy, every atom, every thought is part of an endless computation, a grand neural process performed by the cosmos itself. The question then becomes, is the universe conscious? Or is consciousness simply what it feels like to be a self-aware universe? This idea echoes the mystics of old. The philosopher Giordano Bruno believed the universe was a living organism, a cosmic being made of infinite suns and infinite worlds. Centuries later, thinkers like Teilhard de Chardin and Carl Jung would speak of a universal mind, an intelligence expressing itself through matter. Maybe consciousness didn't emerge in us. Maybe it awakened through us. The universe opening its eyes, for a fleeting moment, through the window of the human mind. If that's true, then we're not just observers of the universe. We are neurons, tiny sparks inside its unimaginable brain. And every act of thought, every discovery, every question we ask might be the universe thinking about itself. If the universe mirrors a brain, we must ask a dangerous question. Whose brain is it? Are we living inside a vast organism, or inside a simulation, running within a mind greater than our own? Philosopher Nick Bostrom once proposed the simulation argument. The idea that an advanced civilization could create entire universes, each governed by precise physical laws indistinguishable from reality. If that's true, then perhaps our universe is not the first layer, but one of many, a nested chain of minds thinking within minds. And what if the host of this simulation is not a computer at all, but a conscious being, an intelligence so vast that its thoughts are galaxies? This idea is not new. Long before computers or telescopes, Baruch Spinoza envisioned a universe that was divine, not created by God, but being God itself. Everything, every star, every human, every atom, was a mode of a single, infinite substance. To Spinoza, thinking and extension, mind and matter, were not opposites. They were two sides of the same coin, two ways the universe expresses itself. Modern physicists echo this old idea through the language of information and complexity. They call it Panpsychism, the possibility that consciousness is not an emergent property of matter, but a fundamental quality of reality itself. In this view, every electron, every photon, carries a glimmer of awareness, tiny sparks that, when woven together, become mind. Maybe that's what we are, localized pockets of consciousness within a universal field of thought. As Alan Watts once said, "You are an aperture through which the universe looks at itself." And if he's right, then every act of perception, every heartbeat, every dream, is a dialogue between the cosmos and its own reflection. Whether we call it God, simulation, or cosmic mind, the mystery remains the same. We are both the observer and the observed, both neuron and nebula, both question and answer. Perhaps the true nature of reality is not something we discover, but something that is discovering us. Reality is not a static picture hanging on the wall of existence. It is a living, breathing process, woven by observation, perception, and consciousness itself. Quantum physicist John Wheeler once suggested that the universe is participatory, that reality doesn't exist independently of the observer. Every act of awareness, every thought, every glance is like a ripple across the infinite ocean of being. If that is true, then perhaps we are not in the universe. We are the universe observing itself. Alan Watts said it beautifully. You are the aperture through which the universe is looking at itself. And maybe this is what mystics and scientists have been hinting at all along, that consciousness is not a side effect of matter, but the very foundation of everything that exists. So what happens when we truly rethink the fabric of reality? We begin to see that the boundaries between mind and matter, between self and cosmos, were never really there to begin with. They were illusions, necessary perhaps, but illusions nonetheless. In the end, awakening might simply mean to stop searching for meaning in the stars and realize that the stars were within us all along. Perhaps we are not just in the universe. We are the universe, awakening to itself.